Nine's okay, but it takes an ace to save the day on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
You're still laughing at my war wounds, huh, Janice? Got it? Hello there. Welcome to Card Sharks. Well, at least I hurt my leg playing tennis and not falling out of a bathtub or something dumb like that. We thank Allison Arnold from Santa Monica, California for that opening poem. And now let's open the board and get to the cards. Janice and Bettina, if you will, start loading in the cards. Two brand new decks. We'll meet our players on Card Sharks. Kathy Gorsline, our champion. Hi, Kathy.
Good to be back again.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Won't you again tell us about yourself?
Well, I'll tell you again that I'm Kathy Gorsline. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska originally, and I'm very content now living in Salem, Oregon, temporarily, with my husband and my 14-month-old daughter, and I just love to play with her all day long. I'm content doing that.
Why temporarily?
Well, we do move a lot, and we're just kind of enjoying the warmth for a change instead of the cold. So
you have the prettiest blue eyes. I hope you can see it on the very lovely
Thank you.
eyes. And you have won $4,000 in cash with this gear,
I
Kathy.
feel
You're a fine
great.
champion.
I feel fantastic.
We're meeting our challenger for the first time, Gary Crandall. Hi, Gary. Welcome.
How you doing, Jim?
Tell us about yourself, if you will, sir.
My name is Gary Crandall. I'm from Johnston, Rhode Island. Hey, it's the other person who lives here. And I'm formerly a truck driver and formerly a truck driver, formerly an iron worker, and formerly married, just sort of hanging around now out here on a visit.
Everything is formally, I guess.
That's it.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, right?
It sounds like Brooklyn.
It's just about a couple hundred miles north of Brooklyn.
Okay. You've cut the cards?
Yes, I have.
Then we're all set to go. Good luck to both of you.
Right.
And the cards are shuffled. The players cut them, as I say. And Kathy, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red deck. Gary, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue deck. We play a best 2 out of 3 match. We'll start with a question to you, Kathy. Kathy, we asked 100 married women. Has your husband turned into the type of man you once thought you'd never be caught dead with? How many women said their husband has?
I don't know. I don't think they'd stay married if that was the case. So I'm going to say it's pretty low, about 25.
25.
Yeah.
Gary, as a formerly married man, what do you think? Higher or lower?
I think that's one of the reasons the divorce rate is so high, so I'm going to say it's higher.
Even higher.
Right.
If it is higher, you'll get to play your cards first. If not, it'll be Kathy. And the actual number of disappointed married women whose husband has turned into the type of man they thought they'd never be caught dead with is 28. You're right, Gary. It's higher. And see, it was worth something, Gary. You're starting off with a king.
I'll keep that king and I'll go lower.
Lower than a king. Yes, a queen.
I'll go lower again.
Risking both cards lower. A 10.
I'm going to freeze on the 10.
We moved the freeze bar over, and now we can't take those cards away from you, and of course it keeps Kathy away from her cards. Gary, your first question. We asked 100 single women on New Year's Eve. Have you ever gone out with a man you didn't really like just because you didn't want to spend the evening alone? Oh, how many women admitted they've done that?
I think it's more than we expect. I mean, no disrespect meant, but I think some women aren't that great looking and have trouble. So I'll say about 38.
38. I hope it's none of our viewers. Hope you all have a date this New Year's Eve. Kathy, higher or lower?
I think I'm going to say higher because they want that date on New Year's, so I think a little more.
Really? Well, the actual number of women who've gone out on a New Year's Eve date just because they didn't want to be left alone is 30. Not higher. Gary. You've got a 10.
I'll change that 10, please.
Whenever you win the question, you have the right to change it to a 6.
All right, it's got to be higher than a 6.
Higher than a 6? Yes, an 8.
Freeze the 8. Freeze it.
Freezing it, needing 1 card for the first game of the match. Kathy, your question. Kathy, we asked, this is a poll I'm always interested in. The questions are so fascinating. We asked 100 congressmen in Washington, D.C. Has your wife ever told you that you voted the wrong way on an issue? How many congressmen said yes?
Oh, gosh. I think that those congressmen, they need that support from their wife. They've got to get good vibrations.
But how many said they voted wrong on an issue?
I think only about 20.
20 have had their wife tell them you were wrong.
I think that most congressmen, their wives are just like there to be there, and they just do what they're told.
Just hanging around, right?
So I'm going to say it's even less than 20.
Less. You're making a lot of friends with women, Gary, I must say. The actual number of congressmen whose wife has told them they voted wrong on an issue is 77, not lower, Kathy. Wow. And there's a lot of women out there now saying, see, I knew he'd get it. Kathy, you've got a queen.
Queen, okay, go lower on a queen.
Lower than a queen. Yes, a 6.
Ooh, I'm going to go higher on a 6.
She's going to risk it. Higher than a 6. Oh, a 4. It's not higher, and that gives Gary a free chance to play off the 8 and call this one for the win.
I'll play it higher. It's got to be.
Higher. If this is higher, you've got the first game of the match for the win.
Yeah.
Yes, for the big ace. Gary wins game 1 and $100. And we'll set up for game 2 right after we take time out for this commercial message. Game 1 to the challenger and $100. Janice dealing out same 2 decks of cards. These are the next cards off the top of the deck. And we start game 2 with a question to you, Gary. Gary, we asked 100 5th grade students in Pennsylvania. When your mother first gets up in the morning, 5th grade students, is she crabby? How many 5th graders said their mother is crabby?
Well, I've got younger brothers and sisters, and I think most mothers just naturally crabby in the morning like most people, so I'll say it's 58.
Somehow I knew you would say most mothers are crabby, Gary. He says 58.
Oh, gosh. I feel mornings are the best time, so I'm going to say a little lower.
Lower.
Little lower.
Are you crabby when you get up in the morning?
No, I
Kathy?
love mornings. They're great. Best time of the day for me.
That's so strange, Kathy.
My daughter's so
You say
happy in
lower.
the morning.
The actual number of 5th graders who said their mother is crabby when she wakes up is 33. Kathy, you're right. It's lower. Yes.
Okay,
And
let's do it
Kathy
good.
starts off with a 10.
I would like to change that.
Here's the next card off the top of the deck.
An ace!
A great
Oh!
change.
Lower than an ace.
Lower than the ace. Yes, a 6.
6, a freeze. Won't try
Just taking
that
that
again.
1 card advantage there. And Kathy, you get this question. We asked 100 men. Have you ever said to your wife, you look terrific tonight, dear, when she really looked terrible? How many married men admitted they have?
Oh, gosh. That's going to be right down the middle, I think, because they're going to want to make her feel good most of the time. I'm going to say about 50.
About 50 have said you look great when she really didn't look too good, Gar.
I'll say low because it's not good to lie to your wife.
Ah, good reasoning. The actual number of married men who've told their wife she looked terrific when she really looked terrible is 43. It's lower, Gary. Yes.
All right.
And the first
Good
look at
card.
your base card is a 6.
Oh, change that 6. Change it.
Trying to improve it with an 8.
Oh,
Ooh, not a good change.
I'll take a shot and go lower.
Lower than an 8. And the
Yeah,
shot
okay.
pays off.
Next one's higher. Higher.
Higher than a 2. It is a queen.
Next one's lower.
Lower than a queen. Yes, an 8.
Freeze there. Freeze on it.
Gary is 1 card away from a shot at the money cards as the champion. Gary, we asked 100 housewives, is there something in your house right now that doesn't work besides your husband? How many housewives said there is?
I think in everybody's house, there's always something that doesn't work right. The husband doesn't have time. You don't call a repairman. I'll say it's 77.
77 housewives said there's something in the house that doesn't work.
I'm going to say higher because there's always that one little doorknob that won't turn or something, so higher.
Higher. The actual number of housewives who have something in their house that doesn't work is 72. Not higher. Gary.
Yeah, change the 8. Change it.
Still a very high. Didn't even wait for me to get over here, Gary. Changing it to a 7.
Go higher.
Go higher. Yeah. Well, what the heck? You'll go higher.
Yeah, that's what
if
I
this
meant.
is higher, what the heck? You'll be the champion for the win.
Yeah!
Gary did it. And we have a new champion. Gary Crandall. Way to go, Gary. Kathy, thank you for joining us.
Had a great time. You people are wonderful.
That's nice. You're a nice lady, and you won $4,000.
$4,000.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank
Kathy Gorsline. Gary, come on down here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gary's going to go for the big money right after this commercial break. Way to go.
I like the women.
Back with our new champion, Gary Crandall. $200 in the game. That's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Ready for the big dollars?
Oh, yeah, big ones, big ones.
That's the way to feel. Let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on, Gary. Pop one up here. And, Gary, the money cards all shuffled and cut. Janice will start dealing them out as we give you $200 on the bottom line and 3 cards. Move up to the second level. We'll give you another $200 and 3 more cards. Remember, your minimum bet is $50 until you get to the top card, and there you must risk at least half the money on the big bet. A lot of money up there.
Okay.
Good luck, Gary. Here's $200. And, of course, you can change your base card on all 3 of the levels if you need to. You're starting now with $200 and an ace.
Oh,
Great.
bet it all. All of it lower. All of it lower.
$200 lower than an ace. Oh, no! Oh.
Yeah.
But
Terrific.
you're not out of it, because we're going to move that ace up and give you that other $200 we talked about. You're back in it, and there's still 4 cards to go, Gary. It can still
Again, all of it lower.
cannot be a third ace.
Can't be, can't be.
$200 lower than an ace. That's good. This time it's a jack.
$400. $150 lower.
$150. Lower than a jack. It is a 7.
all right.
Yes. $550.
All right, $50 higher.
$50 risking it higher than a 7. It is the queen. Now you're moving. $600. Pretty good card, the queen. Do you want it for the big bet?
All right, I'm going to bet $400 that it's lower. I'll stay with the queen and go 400 lower.
This would be a great comeback if you get it. It'll be a nice $1,000 if
Nice
this
even
is
money.
lower than a queen.
Come on.
Oh, no. Look at all those face cards. My goodness. Just $200, but with the other $200, that's $400 for the game, and you're still here as the champion, Gary. Come on down here. Yeah, you can do it again. Get a better shot at it. A lot of big cards that time. My goodness. We'll meet a new challenger and see if Gary can keep that championship right after this commercial break. Don't go away. 2 aces in a row. Okay, Gary. Janice is dealing out 2 brand new decks of cards. We'll meet a new challenger on Card Sharks. Phil Mason. Hello, Phil. Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
You're a little nervous?
Me nervous? No, I always shake this way.
Oh, your hands are a little chilly. You relax and tell us about yourself.
Okay, my name's Phil Mason. I have 4 children. I have the most fantastic husband in the world. I'm not saying that lightly because I am also the world's worst cook. I've been married for 25 years and he's still sticking around. You know,
You're the world's... How can you say you're the world's worst cook?
He says I use the timer as my... right. He says that I use the smoke alarm as my timer.
Oh, the smoke alarm is your timer. Well, he's got a sense of humor, Phil. Good luck.
He needs it. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that food.
Well, don't invite us over for dinner, Phil. Good to have you here.
I'm going to invite you.
You'll play the lower cards, the blue cards, while Gary plays the upper cards, the red cards. Gary, we'll start with you. We asked 100 single women, have you ever accepted a marriage proposal from a man? Oh, listen to this. Have you ever accepted a marriage proposal from a man only to have him tell you that he was only kidding? How many women admitted that's happened to them?
I think a lot of men are practical jokers, and a lot of women are, still looking forward to that day of getting married, but it's not going to be that high. I'll say 17.
17?
Yes, 17.
17 have had a man say, no, I was only kidding after a marriage proposal.
Oh, I think they'd be afraid that they might take him serious and he wouldn't be able to get out of it. Lower than 17.
Lower. The actual number of single women who've accepted a proposal only to have the man say he was kidding is 10. It's lower. Phil, you got it. I think then they proceeded to kill him. Phil, you're starting with a 5.
Oh, change it, change it.
You want it, you can change it. A 7. Ooh, not a good change.
Oh, I'd rather take the 5 back. Okay, 7. Higher.
Higher than a 7, she says. No, it's a 6. It's lower. Right away, the champion gets a free chance to play a 5.
Oh, definitely higher than a 5.
Higher than a 5? Yes, the queen.
Next card, lower. Lower.
Lower than a queen. A jack. 5 spades and 2 jacks.
I'm gonna go lower than that jack.
You're
It's
gonna
gotta be lower than that jack.
Yes,
All right,
a 9.
I'll freeze on a 9. Freeze right there.
Gary needs just 1 card. Boy, Phil, you gave him a chance, and he sure took advantage of it. Your first question, Phil. We asked 100 United States Marines. Interesting question. Would you obey an order you thought was morally wrong? How many Marines said they would obey the order anyway?
Wow, that's rough. I would say in this time and date, it would probably be about 15 because of all the problems they had in Vietnam.
15. You think prior to that it might have been higher, but right now 15. Gary?
The question again, please?
Yes. Would you obey an order you thought was morally wrong? 100 United States Marines. How many said they would obey it?
They would. I'll say it's got to be higher than 15. There's still too much training to disobey them. Still too much training. Right.
I'll be fascinated to see the answer to this one myself. The actual number of Marines who would obey an order they thought was morally wrong is 40. Very much higher. Gary. Woo. Gary, you've got a 9.
I want to change that 9, please.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's training or brainwashing there. 40. Changing the 9 to a 6.
It's got to be higher. Got to be higher than
Higher than a 6 for the first game of the match? No! And this time, Phil gets a free chance to play off the 7.
Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 7? No, again, it's lower. Janice will fill in the spaces, and the question goes to you, Gary. Gary, we asked 100 women. When you walk down the street, do you check your reflection in store windows? How many women said they do? Someone out there said I do.
I think it's going to be high. I think both men and women can't help but be that little bit vain and look at themselves in a mirror or a reflection. I'll say it's 82.
82 women check their reflection in a store window as they go by, Phil.
Gary, you're making it rough on me, but I'd say it would be a little bit higher.
Even higher than that?
Uh-huh.
You think there's even more vanity? The actual number of women who check their reflection in store windows is 92. It is higher, Phil.
I'm going to change that call.
Now you can change it. You won the question. She can get rid of that 7 with a 9.
Oh, I can't believe this. Lower.
Lower. It's been low twice in a row. Is it again? Yes. And you finally got one up there.
Okay. Let me see. I'm going to go higher.
She's going to risk it. Higher than a 6. It is a jack.
Okay. Lower.
You're going to risk both of those cards lower than a jack. It is a 10.
And I'm going to freeze.
And Phil has very quickly tied things up, and as each player needs 1 card, sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Phil, we found 100 department store clerks who work at the Christmas gift return desk. Now, that's a pretty busy place this time of year, and we asked the clerks, do you really believe the customer is always right? How many clerks do believe the customer is always right?
Oh, I think that's something that they're taught, but that they don't really believe. And the key word in there is believe.
That's what we said. Do you believe?
Okay, I would say maybe 30.
30 clerks working at the return counter believe the customer is always right.
I don't believe it. I think it's company policy, but believe, I'm going to say lower.
Lower than the 30.
Right.
This will decide control of that board, and the actual number of clerks who believe the customer is always right is 14. Very much lower. Gary, you've got a 6. You need 1 card. Phil has a 10. She needs 1. Do you want to play it or pass it?
I'm going to play. I'm going to change the 6 and play.
Going to try to do it himself, so this is a big change. Another 6.
I'm going to go with the odds for the higher.
If it's higher, you've got the game. If it is not higher, Phyllis wins it for the win.
Yeah!
Gary wins it. Game 1 and $100. And in a tough match, that first game goes to Gary. We'll set up for game 2 in just a moment. First, we're going to take time out for this commercial message. That's about all the time we have for now. This is our last show before New Year, so I do want to wish you a Happy New Year. It's been a great year for me, thanks to the nice people at NBC and at Goodson-Todman. I can only wish you the same. I'm looking forward to 1979. I hope you will, too. See you on New Year's Day. Bye-bye.
A representative of the studio audience will receive a 2-piece ensemble of Roper Starflight zipper luggage featuring a garment bag and 30-inch carry-all with wheels, handsomely styled in easy clean exteriors designed to protect, furnished by Roper Starflight. And some of our contestants will receive Edison Comfort Sensor room heater, 3 heat levels, 2-speed fan, features built-in 24-hour multi-programmable timer automatically controls heat, and a handsome fireplace set in 12 sterno logs, easy lighter. No newspaper kindling needed. One match lights a 3-hour sterno log. And a gift certificate from Ben Franklin Stores. We carry national brands at prices you like. Discover Ben Franklin. We bring variety to life. And 6 passes to see Robert Shaw, Harrison Ford, Barbara Bach, Edward Fox, Franco Nero, and Carl Weathers in the electrifying adventure Force 10 from Navarone, coming to theaters this Christmas. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks. A Mark Goodson-Bill Todman production.